we do not touch the Chinese who are behind the Burman government, but if we have that feeling of pain and empathy with someone's tragedy, then I think that we're obliged to do such things. What would you say to that?
I will repeat myself that I was a journalist, and I left journalism because the issues that I felt needed to be covered were not being covered by mainstream. So journalism I've done on mainstream channels, but I choose to support the blogosphere because I feel that certain issues do not sell on mainstream media, and whoever makes the decisions. I've just recently gone through a personal trial where everything that I've witnessed as a journalist, as a social activist, in my personal life, as a single parent, and my personal choices also, I felt it was important for me to write. And I found that despite my position, a lot of people would think that it's very easy for me to get my work published. But I found the same obstacles that somebody who is on the Afghan-Pakistan border has when I pursue those articles. And with my book as well, it took me many months, and still a lot of opposition, a lot of death threats, and a lot of PR companies pulling out because one lobby, the people who are reviewing say it's going to be a bestseller, but the lobby that makes the decisions are very scared to publish it. So if I'm willing to take the risk, and if I'm willing to take death threats, who are these people who say, well, we don't think that we can publish it, if I'm willing to take anything that comes my way? So this is my problem with traditional journalism. And I also want to comment on Sultan. You've made me feel very young, because I think Maxime and I both have not turned on the television for 10 years, and we also only watch online, so we must be quite young as well. I think with very busy working journalists, a lot of journalists will say that you don't have the time to watch the 6:30 or the 8 p.m. or the 10 p.m. And it's on demand. Bloggers, or I think the conversation shouldn't really be about bloggers as well, because I think the real challenge is between reading, so written blogs, and video logging, which I think the transition is not. I think it's, I'm sorry, but we'll have to face it, because in 94 there was one blog, and by 99 there were only about 23 blogs. Now I tried to count it in the last hour. I couldn't count it, because there are about over 4,000 blogs in less than 30 seconds, so it's very difficult to keep count of how many blogs per minute. The real discussion should be, we're not reading anymore. And it's true that we have short attention spans, and that should be the real challenge, because absolutely right, that's one of the reasons that I struggled with traditional journalism was because I felt that we were constantly moved. As journalists, we constantly moved from one story to another. And Noreen and I were discussing just before we came up here that it's a bit exasperating, because, say, for example, you've got yourself involved in a story about babies with heart disease, and then you're moved to another story. So actually blogging is going back to traditional journalism, where you can pursue one issue and actually go in detail. So I think you need to change the choice of bloggers. Maybe we can have a chat later on and we can suggest bloggers that go in depth about things. I think we shouldn't be scared of change. If there needs to be a friendly face to journalism, we have to go that way. If we need to make it fast-paced to catch attention, we have to change that. We have to change our running orders to give consumers what they want. And most importantly, we have to talk about, and I give this example wherever I talk, about Brexit, for example, in England, in Britain. A lot of people voted, and we vote wherever we go without really understanding what we're voting for, because not many people read broadsheets anymore. Not many people watch political news. So news has to be given to them which is relevant to them when they're making those decisions. So they understand what they're voting for, they understand who they're voting in, and they understand what their rights are. And I think bloggers, maybe there might be bias, but you have such a huge choice. You can just switch off, which with traditional journalism, it's not always possible.